And finally you arrived, York.
George is dead. You've got nowhere left to run.
George! Oh, right, George. He was a funny one.
I gave him a toy locket, and he was so impressed, so moved. But he wasn't very intelligent. He was born in this town, you see, and it took him too long to discover the Red Seeds. Binding down people with rules is a sign of small-mindedness, and that was what George represented in life.
I'm taking Emily.
Oh, but I can't allow that now, can I? York, you left her to me, in my care, remember? I told you to come with us, didn't I? Must remember that. But you didn't come. You chose your job over the woman that you love.
Casey, this chit-chat is over.
Oh, indeed it is. My fun with Emily ended just a moment ago. It was a fantastic moment. Like eating a full-course dinner that ends with the ultimate dessert. I fed her a fake story about my past, and she took in every word.
Cut out your nonsense. I told you, no more talk.
There you go, York. That's right. Feel the hate boiling from the bottom of your stomach. That's what makes little men create such great and amazing history. Just like tiny ants that make giant ant hills. You know, I just had dessert, and yet I'm already hungry again. No wonder why I keep failing at keeping a diet.
Casey, stop. The next one will pierce you between your eyes.
York.
Emily, it's me. I'm here. Don't worry. Everything will be fine now.
York? Is that you? Oh, thank God. York,
Emily, no. That isn't me.
York. York.
Emily!
York, I'm sorry.
It's okay, Emily. Hurry, come over here. We need to get you to the hospital.
I can't. I can't go to you. I've been soiled.
No, that's not true. You have a heart that can't be soiled. No matter what happens to your body, you are still yourself.
York,
Oh, didn't I tell you? Getting these saplings to sprout requires a certain technique.
Oh, yeah. It gets dark.
What do you think? Artistic, isn't it? It's like a surrealistic painting.
York, shoot me.
Emily?
Let me die. Please. York.
Zach. What should I do?
So, I think I get 3 choices now. Oh, no, hang on. We get a flashback first.
I'm sorry, my darling.
Let her go! Remove that sapling from her body, Kason.
Xander, it's too late. Once it's like this, I can't do anything to stop it.
Please, darling. Shoot me. I'd rather die. If you love me, let me die.
At times we must purge things from this world because they should not exist. Even if it means losing someone that you love. Yes, I couldn't do it. However, you can. When the time comes and you have to make that decision, make the right one. Okay, Zach?
Oh.
Zach. 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 Morgan. Francis. Zach. Morgan. Francis. Zach. Morgan.
I saw you, Zach.
Oh, it's not done it yet. Hang on. I jumped the gun slightly.
Hey, Zach. It's okay. I'm here. I'm with you. I'll be with you always. We can get through this together. Who are you? My name is York. Me and you will always be together. Okay, Zach? I'm you, and you are me. Now, give me your hand.
Yeah!
I remember. I traded places with York. York, the other me. My other personality.
Zach, please shoot. Kill me.
York, what should I do? Tell me what to do, York.
Zach, you have to decide for yourself what you must do. I'll be with you no matter what you decide. Don't worry.
What the twist? It wasn't Francis York Morgan, it was Francis Zach Morgan. So, yeah, there's two. I get two bad endings if I do. I'm going to do the two bad endings first. Because I think I can just reload.
You don't deserve to live.
I don't deserve to live. Well, unfortunately, I've always been more than human. I'm a messenger of the Red Tree, a citizen from the Red World.
That's enough, Kaysen.
I don't know why him whistling makes me buckle over in pain, but
Zach, you made the wrong choice. But don't give up. Think carefully. Father's words will guide us.
oh, poor Emily.
Now again, focus on reality, Zach.
Start out again. So yeah, you remember how all these people keep saying to him, "Oh, you're the guy with a scar on his face, the detective with the scar." And of course, all this time he meant to make it think that it's the little scar on his cheek. No, it's the massive scar across his face. But the only problem with that, which is a cool thing, it makes you go, "Oh, that's the scar. That's why they're talking about his massive scar this whole time." But Francis York Morgan
Zach,
has the part in his hair where the scar's supposed to be, so it's like you can see that there should be a scar there, and it's just not there. It would have been better if that bit wasn't there.
York, what should I do? Tell me
I
what to do,
think
York.
Shooting myself does the same thing, so I'm not going to
Zach,
bother with
you
that.
have to decide for yourself what you must do.
I have to follow my father's words,
I'll be
which
with
is
you
that
no
I
matter
must
what you
purge.
decide.
There are things that must
Don't
not exist
worry.
in this world, and I have to purge them, even if it means losing the one that I love.
There are some things in this world that must be extracted.
Oh no, he
No matter
paraphrases.
what.
I was going to say he's not going to quote it.
Even if that means losing someone that you love. I can't do it. I can't kill Emily.
I'm sorry, Zach.
Stop.
Emily's a friggin' boss. She's like,
Emily!
well, you can't do it, so I'll do it myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, and now the grand finale.
In case it's just yuck it up, like the
Emily. What have you
farcical evil villain.
Zach, I wasn't used as soil at all.
done? You're beautiful. Most beautiful person I've ever seen.
Thank you, Zach. I want to be with you.
Oh yeah, we go back to the forest. Remember that painting that was at Harry's mansion?
Emily,
There it
no.
is.
You aren't supposed to go over there. That's not the way.
Come back, Emily.
York and Zack. Finally, I understand. You two really are best friends. I'm a little jealous.
Hey, stand up, Zack. It's up to you now.
Emily, I finally got to meet you face to face. But you had to go with York, didn't you? He always gets the girl.
He's a good guy. You see that too, right? He kept talking to me and ended up pulling me back out of that room. I'm sure he'll make you very happy.
See, Emily's dead. But York is also technically dead. And so in Zack's weird mind palace thing, they can live happily together. I forget why Kaysen's upset. This is what he wanted.
Why did you bring Zack back? Who the hell are you two? How did you get out of the Red Room?
It still needs to get a tiny bit weirder before it stops getting weird. It stops getting weird. I actually forgot this part.
It's showtime!
Do I have to? I was pressing A.
Zack, go back to the room.
Oh, I have the sheriff's pistol. Okay. Damn it. I keep pressing B to dodge, and I need to press the button combinations. Oh well. It's not doing that much damage to me, although I'm not doing much damage to him either. Oh no, I'm doing a reasonable amount. Fortunately, it gives me quite a lot of time to do that one, so I did have to look at the controller for a little bit. Oh yeah, this isn't so bad. So the whole thing is that Xander, York's dad, was investigating Kaysen. I guess because of his involvement with Green Veil, just basically as part of his FBI job, and then he obviously had his own investigation that culminated in Forrest killing Valentine, his wife. And then as part of that, he traumatized Zack into creating a second personality, aka York. And then I think orchestrated this entire, they all just basically continued doing the whole Red Tree thing, and because York then sort of followed in his father's footsteps, tried to repeat history. I think that's basically the gist of it. But there is this whole thing with the Red Room and the White Room. So Kaysen is a demon from the Red Room.
There's nothing to compare. With one whiff of that gas I made from the seeds, they'd happily kill each other. Even their main
even the ones they love. Not much compared to the full effects of the seeds themselves, but I still got a really good laugh out of it. Anyway, I think we've had enough fun for today. And I really don't like having to exercise.
So now we get a little bit weirder. Is it going to make me do this, or is this just a cutscene? It's just a cutscene, okay. I thought maybe I'd have to waggle. I might have to waggle after this. I don't know. Because, oh, no, I do have to waggle. Because, yeah. There's still room for it to get weirder, trust me.
I'll squash you like a frog.
I'm gonna have to waggle with my left thumb and dodge with my right thumb. Which is fun.
You're an annoying little bug.
This is a weird section. I mean, it's whole. I just. This game's a weird game. It's why I love it. It's so dumb. Like, did any of you coming into this blind, when you saw the first episode of this game, and it was, you know, about an FBI agent coming to a town to investigate a murder, imagine it would end with me with a different hair colour running up a otherworld clock tower whilst escaping from a giant demon frogman. Because if you did, well done. That was a really good deadly premonition you had there. Those ones are fortunately quite easy to dodge since it's always the same button. I just keep rinsing my left arm. Now, if I switched, there we go. I switched my index finger. And, what I'd normally do for stuff involving the left analog stick, if it's like waggle it quickly or spin it or something, I'd usually hold it with the control of my left hand and then waggle it with my right. But obviously I need my hand free to be able to dodge him. So the thing it hasn't explained, which I thought it would, but it didn't. So the zombies that kept attacking me in the other world, they were the basically trapped spirits of all the people who died during the Red Night. I don't know what they actually called it but during the night of the first Raincoat Killer, all the people who died got basically their restless spirits or something, and got trapped in the other world, and that's who those spirits are. It never explicitly says it, but I'm pretty sure. Which is why I thought it did explicitly say it, but yeah, that's why. It's right. One last increment of weirdness.
Emily, I will avenge your death. Just a moment longer. I'll buy you a new dress to make up for all the pain I've caused you. The dress you wore when you came to my hotel room didn't seem to fit you right.
But the red dress you wore in my head, that one seemed a much better fit. Even though I'm pretty sure it's the exact same dress, just in a different colour. Whatever. It's my brain. Oh. Yeah. Now, if you tell me that when you watched the first episode of this, you imagined this would be the final boss fight of the game, I'm calling bullshit.
Kaysen, I've been meaning to tell you this. You're one crazy guy.
Look at this scene. It's so dumb. So, for some reason, it's not fully explained, but they do, I guess, highlight it. His weak spot is the Kaysen doll in his hand. So this doll's shown up in a few different scenes. I don't know why it's his weak spot. I don't think that's explained. I think maybe if I struggle on this long enough, he might talk with York, and York tells him. I don't have time to wait around for York. I'm Francis Zach Morgan. I'm a busy man. So yeah, Kaysen's a denizen of the Red World, and York, Zach is, or maybe York is a denizen of the White World, and he basically saved Zach when he was on. I think he was going to die, or he was going to maybe get corrupted by anger or something. For whatever reason, York took over in order to protect Zach until Zach was strong enough to, shoot a giant fat man at the top of a clock tower. Again, the White World, Red World stuff is I think is a reference to Twin Peaks, or at least it's, because I know the Red Room is a place in Twin Peaks. I love as well, this is the thing, when Swery was creating this game, he really tried hard to deny that this was inspired by Twin Peaks, I think just basically to avoid any legal problems. And he's like, when you get, so I looked up, because what the scene looks like, where you get the final trading card, because I was like, is it worth doing? Spoilers, no it's not, I'm not going to bother doing it. If you want to find out what it is, Google it, after you finish watching this episode, because it'll probably be the last one. You basically go to the White Room and you meet York, and York gives you the 65th trading card. And the 65th trading card is of Swery. And the description for it said that Swery was inspired by Midwestern towns when he made this game. And it's like, no, you were inspired by Twin Peaks. Is he dead? Okay, no. He just moves into stage 2 of this fight, I think. But all he does is he sticks it in his pocket. It's like, ha ha ha! Now you can't hit it. And as far as boss strategies go, it's not a bad one. Like, how many Resident Evil bosses wish that they could grab their glowing red spot.
You're an annoying little bug.
There we go. How many Resident Evil bosses wish that they could grab their glowing weak spot and hide it? He's just like, I'm just going to stick it in my pocket. Haha, what now? And then, obviously, just climb up him and shoot him a bit.
It's because you don't understand humans.
Red tree. You're such a boss. He's just like, I'm not even going to look at the giant exploding demon head. I've been there, done that. Day is saved.
Emily, York tries not to show it, but he's pretty shy. Don't wait for him to propose. Just ask him to marry you.
I just love those pictures. the sort of summary there in picture form. Just showing that to someone with no context whatsoever, just going, right, describe the plot of Dirty Premonition from these pictures of alone. It's just like, Alright. One more chapter to go. I think it's just called Epilogue, and there's not much to do, but it still counts. Oh, go on, one last one.
During the investigation, York, the other me, my other personality.
There are some things in this world that must be extracted, no matter.
York, I'm sorry.
Why can you cause me pain? A red tree!
York and Zach. Finally, I understand. You two really are best friends. I'm a little jealous.
I'm sure he'll make you very happy.
Oh, bye, York and Emily. Now it's just Zach. Oh, so that painting did exist. And he can take his mask off now because there's no more.
Are you leaving today?
Maybe.
Zach, that story I told you the other day, did you believe any of it?
The fact of the matter is that I couldn't save Emily. So it really doesn't matter whether I believed you or not.
I'm very sorry about her. There's something mysterious about that picture. There's a calming beauty to it, and yet it exudes sadness.
Harry, I have a few questions for you.
About what, Zach?
Your last name isn't really Stewart, is it?
Yeah, that is correct. Henry Woodman. George was my son.
You were there in the White Room when I was there. Why?
The same reason as your father. Long, long ago, I too was unable to shoot my wife. What's worse was that I was also unable to kill myself. Which is why I lost both. The woman I loved and my son. My wife suffered from a mental illness, but I still loved her. I wanted to save George too, if I could. Everything was my fault. If only I had the courage to make the right decision, Emily and the other girls would not have died. But you have put an end to all of that.
I wonder if they are happy.
Zach, no need to worry about that. York will guide Emily and the other girls into the forest.
I actually forgot that Harry was George's dad. It's such a end game revelation. I just completely forgot that it was that about it. That was me genuinely surprised there. That wasn't me feigning surprise like I have been with the other reveals. That was me actually going, oh yeah, I remember now.
Hey, Michael. Mind stopping the car for a moment?
Very well, Mr. Francis Zach Morgan.
By the way, if it wasn't clear, the implication is that all the characters were calling him Zach this entire time, and he was introducing himself as Zach. But to him, he was introducing himself as York, and everyone was calling him York. And he appeared to himself as York.
I heard you're leaving.
Uh-huh. That's right.
It's a shame about Emily, and the other girls too.
And the majority of the police force.
How are Isaac and Isaiah?
Oh, they're fine. They still don't think the girls are dead.
Give it to him yourself. He's right next to you.
Oh, okay. I understand. We'll do it for you.
Emily kind of told us to give this to you.
Emily said it's a present for Zach.
Thank you. Where did you get this?
Emily asked us to give it to you. See? She's over there.
There's another Zach there too. You're twins, just like us.
Emily couldn't give it to you herself. She said she's too embarrassed. So, she asked us to hand it to you.
Emily really likes you, Zach. She really likes you.
No, she doesn't. Not me. She really likes that guy York, the guy you see standing next to her.
Anyways, you two. Be nice to the girls, okay? And they'll be nice to you.
We don't like girls.
Girls are boring.
Gotta love them. Just full of energy.
So, Isaac and Isaiah, I think, have the same White Room power, if you can call it that York and
Emily.
York's father...
York. Sounds like you're both doing fine.
And George's
I feel
father.
better about you two now. And hey, York. I figured out why George carried on his body all the way into the woods.
It was for them. He wanted Isaac and Isaiah to find her.
Mr. Francis Zach Morgan, if you are finished, if you are, please, let us return to the car.
No need for that. You can go home. I want to take a look around more.
Very well, then. I'm sure Mr. Stewart will approve of that.
Ah, thank you, Michael.
Yeah, so I think Isaac and Isaiah have the same sort of white room power that Zach/York has, that also York's dad had, so Zach's dad has. It's very complicated. That Harry has, which is why he would hang out with them and look after them, because I guess he wanted to kind of, I don't know, mess with them when they got older, like he did with York and the other people that have access to the... I think basically, as a member of the Red Room, he dislikes people who have the power to access the White Room, or whatever. It's not really clear. Whoa, I'm really fast. I'm really, really fast. Why am I so fast? I think this car might be linked to the frame rate, so when I'm in certain areas...
Can you hear me? I'm a little jealous.
I'm all alone on this side now.
But don't worry, York.
I've had it easy for so long having you with me. I need to get used to being on my own.
Oh, okay. So literally all I need to do now is leave town. Now you can go around and do some side quests and like I could go to the milk barn and finish off the side quest there. And you could finish off like there are a couple of side quests at the end of the game. So Harry and Michael both have side quests that you can do. But I think Michael's is just a trivia thing. I think Harry's might be as well. Either way, they're not worth doing, because Michael you have to go at a very specific time of the day and find him. He's available for like 1 hour of the day, and I think both of them give you trading cards and not much information. So I'm just going to leave. But that's pretty much the end now. We've just got the end credits at the end of this, and then there might be a scene at the end. I forget. So there was. I never got any, but I never drove around enough to get good at controlling this car. There is a... so there was a director's cut version, which is what the PC and PS3 versions are, which had some extra scenes. Those extra scenes have now been removed because I don't think they match up with the new sequel that's coming out. I think this is where I need to go. Oh no, I need to go back to the hotel. I thought I needed to leave town, but I need to go to the hotel first. Oh yeah, I need to check out, I think, from the hotel and then go home. Yeah, the new scene, those scenes in the director's cut don't match up with the stuff that's happened in the sequel. So the sequel is acting as a prequel and a sequel to Deadly Premonition 1. So you play some sections as a younger Francis York Morgan whilst York was still in control, and then some sections as an older Francis Zach Morgan. So if you've never played Deadly Premonition, you go straight into Deadly Premonition 2. You get the biggest reveal spoilt for you straight away. Like, it's spoilt in the trailer for Deadly Premonition 2. It's really bad. I mean, it's one of those things. It's like if you don't know it's a spoiler, it's not that bad. But if you know it, it's like, whoa, that's a big spoiler right at the start.
York, tonight I'm going to sleep like a baby.
Do I have a dream? I think I still have a dream before I leave.
Zach, it's over. All finished. It's time for you to leave town. Are you ready to go?
Yeah, I'm ready.
Then this is goodbye, Zach. Thank you for everything. Good night, Zach. And sleep tight.
Polly, what's that picture?
Oh, that. We took it when the clock tower was built.
50 years ago?
That's right. That's me in the middle. I was pretty popular back then. Men were always around me. Sorry to keep you waiting. Just sign here, please. Mr. Morgan? Mr. Morgan!
Oh, I'm sorry, Polly. I was just thinking of a friend. Someone who was with me for a long, long time.
He must have been a really good friend then. Otherwise, why else would you remember him at a time like this?
Indeed. We used to fight, but he really was a good person. He's gone now, though. Gone away to a place where we can't meet again.
I'm sorry to hear that, but if he's a friend of yours, I'm sure he's getting on just fine.
Thank you, Polly. You know what? I think so, too.
So I don't know why Zach even walks out of town when he's got a perfectly good car that I spent a lot of money on and time getting fixed. I don't know why. But yeah, that final reveal there was Willy with the case and chew toy, which is what that was. It was a squeaky chew toy, which is why it squeaked when York stepped on it. Zach stepped on it. This is confusing. Morgan stepped on it. So the implication is that Willy was the mastermind. Willy was the mastermind above a level above Kaysen. The only real evidence for that is the fact that there are dogs all over town, and that the dogs become giant and evil during the evil hours. But also, if you look at the map of Greenvale, it's in the shape of a dog. That's it. That's the only implications, really. Just that it's, yeah, whatever that means, I don't know. But it's just the last little thing to say. Maybe Willy was evil. It's not really clear. It could be that Willy's from, I don't know, he could be from the White Room and he's just working with Kaysen. I don't know. Kaysen's motives were all over the place. He basically hates people who can access the White Room, which is why... But he likes to mess with them. It's not really explained why he hung out with Polly, though, because he says that the story about him... about Polly reminding him of his mum was fake. I guess it's just to keep up appearances. And then I guess the reason he kept coming to Greenvale to sleep with Diane was just because he was horny. Which, you know, that's fair enough. You know, just because he's a demon doesn't mean he can't be thirsty. So yeah, Deadly Premonition. So the special edition, as I was saying, had some extra scenes tacked on, and they're not canon, which is why they took them out. They were mostly it's just an old man talking to a little girl, and he then starts telling her that it's basically an old York, but you don't see his face. Starts telling the story of Deadly Premonition to his granddaughter, and it's kind of framed as him telling the story of this case to her. And it cuts back to them a couple of times, and it's some weirdly directed scenes, but then that's true of everything in this game. And it ends with, oh yeah, there we go. Yeah, they do actually point out the fact that every character, that the characters are all alphabetical. Isaiah, Jim, Keith, Lily, Michael, Nick, Olivia, Polly, Quint, Richard, Sally, Thomas, Usher, Valentine, Willie, Xander, York, Zach. I like that Willie is actually voiced by a real dog as well. Oh, and then there's the additional characters who all had nicknames. I guess because they thought, oh, we need more than 26 characters. And then the Raincoat Killer had his own voice actor. I guess that makes sense, so you wouldn't be able to figure out that it was... I mean, he had voice modulators on. Like, it didn't sound like a human voice. I think you could have used the voice actor for George and it not been that obvious. Anyway, it ends... I think there is a post-credit scene, and then the director's cut adds on to the end of that post-credit scene. But it basically says... it implies that the old York, the old Zach, there's a new case going on in New Orleans that needs old Zach's help. York tells him about it, and then he disappears, and his granddaughter's like, where's Granddad gone at the end? That's now changed because the new version of Deadly Premonition 2 has you going to New Orleans as young York, not as old Zach. Old Zach is in Boston for some reason. He's living in the apartment. It's blatant. I don't know whether it's just an asset flip or whether it's just a reference or whether it is canonically the same apartment. But in the trailers, York is in old Zach. Sorry, I hate this York Zach thing. Old Zach is in the apartment from D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die, which was David Young's apartment that you spend most of the game in. Lord knows why, because I don't think Swery has the rights to D4 Dark Dreams Don't Die, which is why he's not allowed to make why he's not allowed to finish it off and tell the rest of the story. But maybe he does now, and Deadly Premonition's going to help tell off that story. But I think it might just be a reference to Dark Dreams, that it's the same apartment. We shall find out, because the whole half of the reason I played this was because it's been 10 years since I played this game, and I wanted to, almost 10 years, and I wanted to replay it for my own sake, because there's a lot of the story I don't remember, and I wanted to see if it held up, and it absolutely did. Like, it's still, and I said this coming in, the gameplay in this game is trash, and they haven't fixed it, barely any. Like, it's slightly, this version of it's probably the best version of it, insofar as, now that it's patched anyway. Like, when this version came out, they had a lot of problems with frame rate and music bugs and stuff. But now that it's been patched, it's actually a really good version. And yeah, you know, the story and characters all absolutely hold up. I'm still as enamored with this game as I was the first time I played it. It's so weird and wonderful. Is there an extra scene? This is a cool song too. Alright, I pressed start because I wanted to see whether that would... Yes! There it is.
I
He finally got the gun in death. Oh, I still get paid. Yes. Give me my final paycheck. Oh no, it just cuts me out to the menu. Okay. I'm just going to click in, because otherwise it will load up the opening scene with Isaac and Isaiah. So yeah, the director's cut version adds on an extra scene to that, where old York is standing at the back of the diner, and York turns around and is like, "Hey!" And then he tells him about New Orleans, and people get. He said, "Sounds familiar. Let's go, York." Zach, and then Zach disappears. Again, if you want to find out what it is, you can Google it, look it up on YouTube. It's not canon anymore, so it doesn't matter if you do or you don't. So part of the reason I wanted to replay this is because I wanted to see whether it held up, and like I said, absolutely happy that it does. The other reason I wanted to play it is because Deadly Premonition 2 comes out in July, and I'm going to play that. And I thought, well, it's going to be difficult to do Deadly Premonition 2 on the channel if I haven't done Deadly Premonition 1, because it's not a game... I don't know anyone who's played this. Like, I know people have played this, but I don't know anyone who's played this. So I figured, well, given the fact that, like I said, the trailer spoils the main point of this game, I thought I should play it before I play Deadly Premonition 2. So, in July, look forward to Deadly Premonition 2, because I'm going to play the whole game, and it will be blind this time, and so it will. There will be a lot less of me going, "Oh look, it was George," because I won't know the twists this time. I'm really excited to see what they do with it, because it's, like I said, it's acting as both a sequel and a prequel. So I guess I'm interested to see what they do with fleshing out the sort of lore of the Red World and the White Room and the blah 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 blah. I don't know what special is. I don't think. Oh, so. Oh, okay. So I guess these are photos that the development team took to yeah. Oh, this is interesting. So yeah, so these are. It's interesting because I've backed Sweary's current Kickstarter, current video game, The Good Life, and so I get the production updates. So yeah, cherry pie, donuts, sugared donuts. So all of this food is in, well, in some form or another. I've backed the, oh yeah, the guns with the. I've backed his current one, A Good Life, which is set in a British village, and so he took a 2-week research trip to Britain to take photos, and it's interesting seeing all of his photos, and then obviously how that yeah, they're swearing on the right there, how that translates to the tunnel, the game. So there's obviously, they did a research trip in America. I just love the idea that he had the whole idea for putting the dog in the back of the truck based on that photo. The abandoned trains. Yeah, Sweary's a fun guy. Oh yeah, this is just like he's literally just remade this town. There was a high school, by the way, in the game. I imagine it was cut, because the only thing you do there's a trading card and a race around the high school grounds. Otherwise, the high school just isn't there. Oh, another thing they added, and this was something I never knew about until I actually was just like Googling some stuff for this playthrough, is they added DLC to the original game, which included some extra. Okay, so these are all the. So I wonder if I do actually need to get all the other 64 trading cards to get the 65th trading card. So that's the door. That's the door that opens the special scene. So it's TV 35. Let me see if I can do it. Just for shits and giggles, since we're here. Oh, but I need to watch the whole thing. I'm not going to bother. It's not worth it. Like I said, what happens is you do TV 35, jukebox, whatever, trading card 26, which... Do I even have trading card 26? Nope, I don't even have trading card 26, so I couldn't do it anyway, because I go from... Oh, no, that's 33, 21... Oh, I do have 26. Polly. I got that for doing the fishing. Huh, how about that? Trading card 26. PT 203. Which one was that? Jukebox. Television. I don't know which one PT 203 is. Alright, tell you what. Let me try it. It's such a... No, I'm not going to bother. It's such a nothing... This is such a weird thing. I'm not going to bother. It's such a nothing scene. Google it if you really want to see it. It's literally... You run around in the White Room, you find York, you speak to York, he gives you a trading card, and it's a trading card of sweary. That is it. I'm not going to bother doing it. I could do it. Maybe, but I'm not going to. So yeah, that's Deadly Premonition. I hope you enjoyed that. I certainly did. It was great fun. I love this game. I'm happy to have replayed it, and looking forward to Deadly Premonition 2 in a month or so. So until then, citizens, Jackman out. I feel like that's one of those things that if you're a serial killer. Oh, this just leads back out here. If you're a serial killer, you kind of just have to go, what creepy thing should I have in my house? What's the sort of creepy thing that serial killers have? You just Google, and it's just mannequins is the first thing that comes up, and you're like, right, mannequins.